Hi Milind, how are you?
Hi Shubham, I'm good. How are you doing?
Perfect, yeah, perfect. So guys, today we'll be having Milind Daftari for the interview today. So again, Milind has also been one of my friends from far too long. Again, same school, KC Public School. So we were friends till 12th, and then he moved to Bangalore for his bachelor's degree, bachelor's in engineering only in computer science, and then he's into Altruista Health, and I think it's nearly been 2 years he's working in that company. So I would not say specific about the company and the details, but I'll say with regards to the initial days till 12th, because he was also into computer science. He took IT, if I'm not wrong, as a subject in 12th.
Yes, informatics practices.
Yes, so I was pretty sure that he would mostly get into computer science domain only, and here he is. So perfect. Milind, would you please help us introduce a bit about yourself?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the brief introduction. So hi guys, my name is Milind Daftari. I'm from Jammu and Kashmir. I did my engineering from Sir MVIT Bangalore in computer science and engineering in 2019. And then I moved to Hyderabad for my full-time job that was at Altruista Health. So we are a healthcare company that focuses on population health and care management for the US business area. And we have operations in US and in India. In India, the main office is in Hyderabad, and I work with that team.
Perfect. Perfect. So basically now my first question before we actually start would be, could you give us a brief introduction about, what people might be thinking about what cybersecurity is? Actually, so a brief introduction about what cybersecurity is actually.
Yeah, sure. See, a lot of people, when they hear the word cybersecurity, they say, oh, it's hacking. So really, it's not. So cybersecurity is a very broad, you can say, field, which has a lot of subfields under it, such as application security, network security, operation security, infra security, cloud security. Then there is compliance, risk management. So there are a lot of fields under the main term of cybersecurity. So here we do offense, we do defense, there is cybersecurity management. So there are a lot of things involved. So it's not just one singular field that if you are in cybersecurity, you are into hacking. But if you are into cybersecurity, you can be an application security engineer who works with applications. You can be a network security engineer who secures the networks, a compliance manager or an auditor. So there are different areas. So it depends what your interests are.
Okay, perfect. So, because my thought process would revolve around like, because you are a computer science engineer. So, mostly it would be something like that. You will try for a job of a software developer. But let's say because you're into cybersecurity and you thought of deviating, getting into cybersecurity domain. So, could you explain us a brief about how your interview experience was? How actually two things actually how your interview experience was and how different is it from an software developer interview experience?
Too many questions, Shubham. Okay, so see, for a computer science engineer, I think these days everyone gets into software development, right?
Correct, correct.
Say for my college, computer science, ECE, IS, telecom, a lot of people went into cybersecurity jobs. Sorry, not cybersecurity, software development.
Software
A
developer.
lot of people went into software development jobs. Even mechanical people went into those jobs, but I was not really into it. I did not really like software development that much, and I wanted to get more into the security domain from the start of my engineering. And I think there were only two people from my college who were interested in this domain. So it was a nice experience learning new things when a lot of avenues are not available. Then searching the market, and cybersecurity market is brutal. It's not like software development market, because here, if you have less than 2 years of experience, people generally don't touch you. So getting your first job in cybersecurity is a lot of Like you need to do a lot of work. You need to study a lot. You need to network. You need to do a lot of things to get that first job.
So could you explain us brief about how your interview experience was?
Sure. So I was in Bangalore that time and I went down to Hyderabad for my interview. Initially, it was a drive. It was an off-campus drive. A lot of people were present. I think around 150 people were present that day. So initially, they started with the first round, which was your basic quantitative and qualitative aptitude, along with some reasoning, some English, so that they could filter out some candidates out of that bulk of 150 candidates.
Sorry to interrupt you. Actually, I had a thought process that they don't have the initial aptitude test for those off-campus interviews. I mean, do they have that?
No, that's true in the cases where less candidates are coming. See, if you are getting an input of 150 candidates, you need some way to screen the bulk. That's why in colleges also, because the companies know that 150, 200, 300 students will be sitting for placements, they have these rounds so that they can filter it out a little bit. Because every company wants people who can talk properly, who have reasoning abilities, and who see, in the end, communication is important in teams. Even if you have the skill, if you are not able to communicate it within your team and with the cross-functional teams, it becomes a problem and it reduces the productivity of the team. So that's why they keep these rounds.
Okay. And when we talk about your after the aptitude test, let's say, and the next two parts, the GD, the group discussion, and the personal interview experience, PI, how were those two?
So see, after I cleared this round, the second round was a technical round. Okay. That was your normal technical round, which they gave us options to choose from Java or C#. So I was not exposed to C# during my college. So I chose Java. The questions were simple. It was related to OOPS concept, a little bit of data structures, some string manipulations, basics of Java, inheritance and all those things. Then after that, the third round was the group discussion. We were 10 people in one panel. They gave us an abstract topic, which was not technical. It was a general topic. I think that time elections were going on somewhere. So it was a generic topic. And what I feel they wanted to see is, are we able to communicate? Because in every group discussion, some people are for the motion and some people are against the motion. Yes. So what they want to see is that if, say, you are for the motion or against the motion, how you are able to communicate your ideas to the other party. Because when you are in a team, what I feel, personally, it's my personal opinion, that when you are in a team, it's not a case that you'll always agree with your team members.
Correct.
You are bound to have differences in opinions. Correct. And I feel that's what creates a good team, that you have different opinions, you have different experiences. Correct. So if you are able to perform in the group discussions, you are able to convey your ideas and respect the ideas of the other people and talk properly, communicate, then I think, yeah, you can pretty much do it.
Perfect.
That is what's required mainly.
Perfect. And the personal interview experience?
So during the personal interview, I think 15 people were left. Okay. And out of those 8 people were hired. So it was pretty basic. They went through my resume, and yeah, for everyone out there, I want to say that you should know everything that you have written in your resume. I see a lot of freshers who write that I know Microsoft Excel. But my question is, do you really know Excel? Excel is not just rows and columns. It involves a lot of things. It involves pivot tables. People use Excel for data manipulation, data storage, like a lot of things. Excel has a lot of potential, guys. Just Excel. So you should know what you are writing in your resume and you have to be confident about it. And another thing is that when you go to a company, say I went for Altruista Health, the first thing which I did was that I researched, not about the technical stuff, but about the company. I found what they do, who their competitors are, what technology stack they use, how they hire, what are their employee experiences, what is their culture, what is the core of their product, who are their customers, everything. so that I knew what I was getting into. And from an HR's perspective, they also know that, okay, you have done your research and you have come. It's not just another interview for you.
Correct.
Because see, when you go to a place, you have to be focused. You cannot channel your energy to 10 interviews and then wish that you get into all 10 companies. If you are, say, on Monday, you're going for one company, your focus should be on that one. You have to know everything about the company first, and then you have to tailor your resume in a way that, like, after your research, you'll find the technology stack the company uses, what kind of roles they have, all those things, because you can do a lot of research on LinkedIn these days. So you can find that information and you can tailor your resume according to that job requirement.
Okay.
And just one thing, I know it went for a long time now.
And,
keep your resume short. 2 pages, I think 3 pages is more than enough. I have seen people who send me resumes. I once got a 16-page resume.
Oh, nice.
So that's basically a small book, I think.
Actually,
So
for me, it's a small because I don't read books. So for me, it's small.
Yeah. So your resume should be concise and relevant to the role you're applying for. So those are what I feel the main things.
Okay. So, I mean, because you talked about, we should do a bit of a research before we get for the interview. So, talking about that bit of the research for the company, what are the actual different domains that one can get into in your company?
So as a lot of operation is there in India for our company, we have a lot of roles in different departments. There are roles in the planning and delivery department, in the business analysis department, in the technology department, in the IT department. So you can get into business analyst roles. You can get into data integration analyst, quality assurance, software developer, DevOps. So there are a lot of roles right now open. You can become a performance engineer. The only thing is your profile should be relevant.
Correct.
It should be relevant. By that, I mean that we follow the Microsoft stack. So if you have a background of the Oracle stack, like, Java and all those things, so your profile does not really match our requirements.
Oh.
That is one thing. The second thing is that your experience should be equal to what we want. Because say for software engineer 2, the SE2 role, we want 3 years of experience. If you just have 1 year or 2 years of experience, you'll probably not get in. You'll only get in if you are exceptional. But generally, it won't happen. I would recommend that you apply for an SE1 role, which matches your level of experience.
Okay.
So there are a lot of roles, lot of openings. Always, we are hiring aggressively. So yeah, you can check it out on our website.
Perfect. Actually, so maybe if we talk about my next question would be with regards to the certifications. Now we talk about cybersecurity. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are multiple certifications. I also know that you have done some of them. So can you just brush up on those certifications so that people can understand about the cybersecurity certification specifically?
Yeah. See, first talking about what I have done. When I started, I wanted to have a basic cert first. So I chose this CompTIA Security Plus certification. It is a basic, we can say an entry-level security certification, which exposes you to cryptography, identity access management, network security, application security, different subdomains of cybersecurity, so that you get an overall perspective of the field, of the domain. For other beginners, I would suggest Certified Ethical Hacker by EC Council. That is a good entry-level certification.
Okay.
Now, other certifications depend on what you want to do. If you want to get into offensive security, you choose the offensive security certs like OSCP, OSCE. So offensive security is an organization, so they have these certs. If you want to get into the compliance or auditing side, you go for CISA, you go for CRISC, CISM, CISSP. So you go for these certs. If you are a heavily experienced candidate with 10, 15 years of experience, you can go for CISO. So because those certifications complement the role they have. Because say if I have 2 years of experience and I get a CISO from EC Council, I will never be a like chief information security officer of a company because my experience does not satisfy that.
Correct.
So I would say that as you progress through your career, take the certifications in that way.
Correct. Correct.
So that will help you grow.
Perfect. 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 So this was about those certifications that we had. Now, actually, my question would be with regards to somewhat, because I know that you have written some research papers. Actually, I'm pretty much not precise about the specific research papers that you've written, but because I understand that you were applying to some colleges and you got into some colleges like Purdue and NYU, which are great colleges in the US. So can you just help us with a brief about, I mean, how relevant those research papers are with regards to job interviews, or, you know, you were using it specifically for master's applications?
Okay. So firstly, let's talk about the research part. We'll talk about the job applications and master's applications later.
Sure.
So when we talk about research in cybersecurity, what I did, one paper was in network security and another one was a mixture of application security and project management. So these things I gained with my experience. I saw these things, I researched on these things, I got interested, I did some research, I found a topic and I worked on it. So that is the first part. If you want to start writing a paper, the first thing is you should know about what the topic is. Like there are people who pick a random topic and they do a lot of research on that topic. They read loads of papers, then they come up with a new idea or an improvement for an existing one. That can be done. So it depends on an individual, how much time you want to spend on that and how dedicated you are, because writing a paper is really tough. It's not like writing an article or a blog. It's because you have to contribute something new and you know that will be reviewed by a lot of senior researchers of the industry. Coming to master's applications. So most of the universities except India, like if I talk about universities in US or Canada, they look for students who have some research background. I'm not saying that it is necessary, but yes, they would prefer those candidates because in US and Canada, research is a very important part of the university, right? So if they see that, okay, an applicant already has an experience of say 1 or 2 research papers, they know that he can be a good student, he can contribute to their research program, and the university also can benefit from it.
Correct.
So yes, surely research papers help you a lot when you are applying for master's applications. Coming to jobs. So see, there are different kinds of roles. For me right now, if I want to get into a threat researcher role, in industry, there are different roles. Some threat researcher roles will be just like you are finding the existing threats. Some threat researcher roles will be like you'll be searching for something new, some new concepts, some new mitigations. So the papers will help you with those roles. Correct. Say if you get into a specific company, say Synopsys. Synopsys has a product for application security. And if with your research, you are able to do something new in application security, find a new way to find the flaws, then yes, you'll be hired for that role. And I should tell everyone that these roles pay really well. They are not your regular software engineer roles, they pay really well. But the skill set that is needed for a researcher role is very different and it is very advanced. So you have to think about all that while you're applying for such roles.
Perfect. So actually, before I come to my last and favorite question, I would say, I would just like to ask that, Milind, like, let's say if I was being interviewed, what recommendation would you give me that you felt while you were being interviewed? You know, I should have known this, because if I were exposed to this, or if I knew this already, so at least it would have smoothened my interview process. Because see, you were either ways you were being hired, but let's say talk about your interview experience would be much smoother as compared to whatever, however it was earlier.
Okay, so I'll answer it in two parts. The first part will be my experience as a fresher, because when I joined, I did not have any work experience in the industry. All I had was 6 months internships. So if you're starting as a fresher, the first thing again, know your resume and believe in your skill set. If you don't believe in your skill set, if you're not confident enough, you cannot convey the same to the recruiter. Say if out of 100, you know 70% about a topic. If you are nervous and you're not confident, you'll only be able to convey around 40 to 50%. And that creates a negative atmosphere, and the recruiter knows it. Many a times, experienced recruiters know that you're nervous, but in the end, what they want are concise and say perfect answers, near perfect answers, or something that they are looking for. So if you are not able to provide that to the recruiter, I don't think you'll get hired, because in the end, they have to be satisfied, because they have to justify why they are saying yes to you.
Correct.
So you have to give them that justification yourself. That is one thing. Now, if you're an experienced candidate, the first thing again, know your resume. Second thing is know the role. You should know what the company wants. You should know what you are and how you can contribute. And throughout your interview, you have to answer all the questions of the interviewer, but you have to convey how what you have will complement what they want and how you can benefit that.
Perfect. Perfect.
That is the most important thing, I believe.
Perfect. I get that. I think actually I'll now come to my last and final question. That is, I mean, would you be able to help refer people? Because I'll be sharing your LinkedIn profile in the description section of the YouTube, so they can access your LinkedIn profile. And actually, I would request them to connect with you. So would you be able to help people refer for the same, or because if they ask question, would you be willing to answer the same in the, let's say, YouTube comment section or in LinkedIn?
Surely, absolutely. I'll be able to do that. I'll be happy to do that. The only thing is, before approaching me, I would request the job seekers to go through our website, see what our product is, see what we do, what roles we are hiring for, and what we are looking for in that role. Say if there is a program manager role, which requires 10 years of experience and some particular set of skills and background, if you have that, I'll be very happy to refer you. But if you don't, I think even if I refer you, you won't get in. Because as I said, two things matter a lot. Relevant work experience, that is the first thing. And the second thing is the duration. It should complement the requirement. Mm-hmm. If it does not, then chances are less that you'll get in.
Perfect. I think it was a great experience that I had during the talk. So thank you so much, Milind. Thank you so much for the session. And I think that's it from my end. So take care.
Thank you, Shubham. It was a very nice experience. Thank you for having me. Yeah. And again, to all the people out there, if you need help in getting a job in Hyderabad at Altruista Health, you can contact me anytime over LinkedIn. I'll be happy to help you. Just look at the job requirements first. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.